right, so as we continue our day one here, our discovery day, one of the most important things we want to do is want to measure his nervous system. Okay, so we have the technology to be able to do that. So let's go ahead. All right, bud, here we go. Let's measure your nervous system. I'm going to start down here. Good job.
L1, T12, T6.
There we go.
T5, T1, C7, C2, left, C1, right,
And we're right.
C1.
There we go, much better. Awesome, bud. Good job.
Thank you.
So especially at his age, his nervous system is going to be growing and developing greater that first year and up to the 3 years, greater than any other time in his life. So often we're taught that we need to get our parts checked: ears, nose, throat, heart, lungs. But often we forget about what controls all those parts. So that's one thing. That's one of the major things that we do, is we fill that gap. Okay, because our other healthcare professionals aren't doing that. They're checking everything from the outside, but unfortunately they're not checking that. So we fit that gap there to help to make sure that he's thriving and he's going to hit his growth and developmental milestones. And we know he's only going to live at his full potential if the nervous system is functioning and without interference. So that's a major thing that we want to do, is get that baseline today. So let's quickly review our first visit. And I love this handout because it really helps you to understand what to expect. So this first visit here is what we call day one. That's what we've already accomplished. So we went through his health history. We got to learn about what mom's pregnancy was like, how the stress there, and then the stress at birth. And he came super early, and just spent 114 days in the NICU, and just all the different interventions that he needed to help him to survive and to thrive, and that's awesome. And so this part here is figuring out what's going on with his nervous system so we can help to continue those milestones. So went through his health history, learned about all those stressors, the physical, the chemical, and the emotional, and then we measured his nervous system to see where that stress at, how severe it is, and then we looked for, we checked his spine, looked for any areas along the spine, what we call subluxations, and we identified goals. And then today we're going to talk about the 3 simple questions. 1, can I help? Absolutely, I'm confident we can help him. 2, what a care plan is going to look like, how often he needs to come to help accomplish those goals. Like, he's already excited. Just give me adjusted, huh, Dr. James? Yeah.
I'm hurting. Help me.
And the last one we'll review, cost, and then we'll do that first adjustment, okay? So that day 2 is today, answering all those questions. And then phase 1 we call reactive, or our restoring and reorganize and rebuild the nervous system. So typically, and definitely in his case, we recommend to see more frequent in the beginning, because we're being so reactive to so much stress that he had in his life up to this point. And so if we remember from the day 1, right, he doesn't like to lay on his stomach. He wouldn't even sit down. He would just always want to stand up, right? So we can see that tension in his nervous system that we want to help to get rid of. And so we're helping to stimulate that nervous system, balance out, and to calm it down. As we're changing messages to the brain, it's going to help him be more calm, his tone more relaxed, okay? And that's going to affect every single cell in his body, okay? And then fast forwarding, we want to get him to phase 2, which we call proactive and preventative. And that's where he accomplishes his goals, his nervous system's cleared out, and then we spread those visits out, and it's more periodic checkups to continue to fine-tune his nervous system the rest of his life so he can continue to thrive and do his best, okay? So that's what to expect. Any question on that?
No.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, awesome, me too.
He gets uncomfortable at times.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about some of the physical exam findings. So I already mentioned some of them, the extreme tension, and we saw that during the first visit. We've already seen a little bit here that he just really fidgety and just doesn't want to sit still. Okay, that's a sign of just that excitement in the nervous system. So as far as subluxations, we found one here in the upper neck. Again, very common with kids, and not surprised in his case. And then when we try to passively rotate his head left to right, he was very restrictive. Didn't want to do that at all. Like, he'll do it on his own, but me gently get in there, check rotation, he was really guarding, really fighting. So again, another sign of tension and stress on the spine and the neck. So those were the main findings there. Then let's talk about the scans. So measuring his nervous system. And this is where we want to go over. Okay, so on this one here, oh, he's smiling. Awesome. Look at those smiles. So we're looking at two different things here. So again, where the stress at, how severe it is. And so what we're seeing, we see right up top here, no surprise, that's where we found the subluxation. So you can see that bar coming way out right up top there, the upper cervical neck. And then we come down here and we want red. This normally would be red, so we see some red, but then we see lots of blue. So on this one, it's showing blue, it's showing the areas of the system being bogged down. So again, not surprised to see it spread out almost along his whole spine, and then right up top here. Everything has to go through that upper neck to get to the rest of the body. Okay, does that make sense? Any question on that? So this is our baseline to see where the stress at. In the future, we'll do progress scans every so often to check in. So just because he's looking good on the outside doesn't mean we got to the root cause and he's balanced, okay?
Yeah.
So obviously we want him to feel like $1,000,000 and be chill on the outside, but where we know he's gonna be as healthy as possible is that the nervous system is functioning optimally, okay? Awesome, cool.